Okay, so can we talk about the book of Ruth in just 5 minutes, right? So Ruth is a sister-in-law to Naomi. But let's go back to chapter 1 and see how it started. So Naomi was married to Elimelech, and she had two sons, Mahlon and Chilion. So Mahlon now got married to Ruth, who is a Moabite. Uh, Naomi originally is from Bethlehem, and she moved to Moab when she got married to Elimelech. Now, something happened, so something tragic really happened that no woman ever prays to face. And what happened was she lost her husband and her two sons. Mashu. When this happened, she was devastated and she felt like there was no point staying in Moab anymore. Let me go back to Bethlehem, where my people are. It's safer that way, I'm within families and the rest, so it makes more sense that way. But this is what happened. She said, okay, if I'm going to go back, my sister-in-laws, that's the wife to Mahlon and Chilion, you guys cannot stay with me because it doesn't make any sense. You guys are still young. Please go back. I beg, go and enjoy life. There are still lots of things to do. And they were all saying, no, we can't go back. We are going to be with you forever. And she was like, hey, no, don't do that. And Ruth get agidi. Anybody are bearing Ruth, check them very well, then get agidi. And Ruth was like, you know what, I'm not going back. My people will be your people, your God will be my God. Wherever you serve, whatever you serve, I would serve. Wherever you live, I would live. And she showed her submission to this person. And Naomi was really impressed, and she saw that, Ruth was not budging in any way. I said, you know what, okay, that's fine. Come with me, let's go. However, the other wife, I've forgotten her name. Maybe now I forgot her name, She went back to her people. Now, Naomi and Ruth came back to Bethlehem, where her people were, and they started living. And people were like, oh, is this Naomi? Is this not Naomi? Oh, man, they saw how devastated she looked. Just imagine someone that lost her two sons and her husband. Imagine how depressed she would look. She was literally depressed. So, Ruth one day said, you know what, Naomi, I have to go to the field and look for things to eat. Let me enjoy myself. Let's get food at home. And Naomi blessed Ruth and said, oh, go, the Lord will be with you. You'll find favor in the sight of men, blah, blah, blah. All right. The way Yoruba people pray. That was how Naomi prayed for Ruth. So Ruth went out, and then the first field she went to happened to be a family member's field, but she didn't know that's Naomi's family member's field. So she went with the people there and started tilling the land and working for them and gathering their shrubs and the rest. I think this was in chapter 2 or chapter 3. And then Boaz came. Boaz, being the owner of the vineyard, came and was like, sorry, where's that lady walking behind with you guys there? And they were like, oh, this is Ruth. She came with Naomi from Moab, and you understand the story. Now, Boaz was like, oh, you see this woman, don't touch her, make sure she works. And she spoke to Ruth and was like, oh, Ruth, well done. The fact that you even left your people and came to meet us, we are really impressed. We would help you, we would make sure that you don't suffer. She told everyone that everyone should support her, help her, with whatsoever she's trying to do. Give her great support and the rest. Now, I think, this is my thoughts, I think Ruth is very sexy. Boaz saw Ruth and couldn't take her eyes off her. But apart from the fact that Ruth was she was an hardworking lady. She was quite hardworking. But come on, why not sexy now? Now, when Ruth came back, she told Naomi and said, Naomi, see, this is what happened. I met this man called Boaz. And we're like, oh, Boaz is your, what's that word the Bible used there? Your, there was a part used, there was a particular adjective used to describe what Boaz is actually the right word. Whatever, I don't know English. Used to describe what Boaz was. And at the end of the day, she was like, oh, you know what? Into the story, she now started telling Ruth, Naomi that. Now started telling Ruth that, see you, that Boaz, we must do him, we must have him for ourselves, Literally, I'm just trying to paint the picture what I read there. It was like, so when there's going to be a party on this day, when you go, make sure after he has eaten very well, you go and lay beside him, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Naomi, baby. Oh, come wherever you come. Anyway, let's go back to the story. So, Ruth heard, and where Ruth did as Naomi had said, and she went to meet Naomi, and she went to meet Boaz while the party was ended. This was in chapter 3, I think so. And then they started, oh yeah, they were not doing anything rubbish, relax. So now Ruth used her clothing to cover Boaz's leg. I don't understand the PDA that was going on amongst themselves there. It wasn't. I think it's a very spiritual PDA, not the type they do in Lekki these days. Lekki girls. I'm sorry. So, then what happened next? Okay, so I think that's triggered Boaz, as in Uli Boaz. Boaz got like, almost see babe, she knows Sabi, so Boaz was like, oh, I go marry this girl, but I know if you marry her, I can't marry her because she's not directly linked to me. There is someone else that should actually, according to their tradition, there's someone else that should be with her. Mind you, Naomi, they have a property, and because there is no man in the house, they need to transfer the property to a man. And the person they can only transfer the property to is anybody that gets married to Ruth. And Boaz is also a business, but I don't calculate everything. If I get married to, I will get this property, can't get this girl again. Now, a very good deal. So he said, well, but I'm not the one to marry her. So he called on the Oluwatobi, they call it Oluwatobi, that's the head of the family, and said, you know what, so this girl, she has lost her people, and there is this land, so you are the one to take, you are the rightful owner of the land. But if you are going to take the land, you must marry this girl, being a widow. And the guy was like, Oluwatobi, I don't fit to, I know they do every load that beg, I know they do that kind of thing. Boaz did not even try to persuade him and encourage him and give him reasons to. Immediately, Boaz said, okay, don't worry, I'll marry and I'll take the load, I'll take the property. Like, Jesus. Boaz sabi, like he played the game. So Boaz ended up getting an hardworking lady, a land, and because of Ruth's dedication to the Elimelech family, she was the generation of David. So Ruth's father, Ruth's husband became Boaz, then Boaz, Obed, then Obed gave birth to David. I think so. Please, I don't know history. I think that was it. So I really, really enjoyed the book of Ruth. And I enjoyed also sharing this with you guys. I don't know if I'll be doing this more often, but it seems interesting and I feel excited about it. So I'm hoping to study another part of the scripture and share with you. But Boaz, you be G. You be G. I feel you, man.